to the other agencies and then back from the other agencies. We have precious little, if anything, of that information. While I hear that they're doing it, and I have heard even from the DEC that they have been up there, I don't know how far they've gone or how much they've moved forward on that. But they have made some movement on some of the things, but many of the other things out of 67, there are many hanging there that they could just as well have taken care of and be ready for approval. If you gave the other 6 items that they were talking about, they would still take 3 or 4 or 5 months to get these other things done. The other thing you have is TRASCIS. TRASCIS is entirely different. They have, I believe, 8 items here to accomplish, and I believe they've accomplished none. Some of the stuff is fairly, I mean, it's things that could be done. The town engineer shall witness all the percolation and pit tests are the ones that the DOH hasn't done. We have not witnessed a single one of them.
That's why I said it was a long time ago.
They must know for an education for an advantage district. I don't think they've been to you for advantage district. Prior to final approval, wet pond design and landscaping shall be approved by the planning board. Nothing's been there. So I think there's a number of things that they could be doing, should be doing. If they just sat back and had the quicker product as the only issue, that would be fairly simple.
Well, we're going to
straightforward.
Well, the DEC just came arbitrarily because they did their studies a long time ago.
What happened was it was identified a long time ago. The DEC has a web information that they have. In speaking to one of the people up there in permitting, we started talking a little bit, and this came out that there was...
Okay, I remember that.
And in fact, it's been identified as being on their parcel itself, and on a neighboring parcel, there's 2 other ponds that are affected.
Yeah, I've got on my property too, but I'm not going to subdivide so they can stay here. It's okay.
I did also give you a copy of the DEC guidelines on northern prickle logs. I believe that this applicant will be there at least until October. Because you not only have to look at them when they're coming up in the spring and when they're breeding, but you also have to look at where they hibernate. And that's a different situation, and they can move possibly 1,000, 2,000 feet from what I understand. So they may be moving somewhere else on this property besides just where they are in the summer on those ponds.
Well, they haven't let me. Not from some
good. Well, this is information.
We think they moved ways 5 miles by automobile.
Well, that's what I said. They must be migrating from. They're hitchhiking down 94 to Concord.
Well, this is information that we can use with what they provide us, and we'll make decisions. Let me share with the public and the board about what a critical path is. It's an engineering technique that you learn in engineering course number 1. And that is, if you want to create something and do something, you try to define everything you have to do to get to the end result. And then you determine how many of those things can be done simultaneously. You know, because if you do one and you complete it and then do another one to complete it and do another one, it'll be 50 times longer getting to the end. And so what we have to ascertain as a board is, do they have a critical path? And are they following it? Or are they just doing what Mother Nature gives them to do that week? Or are they really truly multitasking? And so all that should go in our decision making as the credibility of what they're asking us to do and what we create as an endpoint. And I know in my own personal
times in the past, that was gospel. My paycheck depended on how good I could muddle through all those things, multitasking and completing. And if you do have something like a union going on strike or a pump is in shipment from Chicago and it got lost, those are bona fide reasons to miss it. Because you didn't do your work, it's not a reason, and you have to be held accountable. So that's what that's all about.
That's the only reason I brought up the incremental extension. Right. Okay, how long is it going to take? You have a 6-month extension. At the end of 6 months, they come back for another extension and say, okay, what have you done, and why do you need another extension? Well, if it doesn't make any sense, or they haven't done anything, and they just want the timeline for whatever other reason, economic, then at that particular point you make another decision. But to go the 18 months,
that's an arbitrary number, 8 years. And the thing is, it should be based on fact, not opinion.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, this town board is giving these people on these particular applicants.
Right.
We've grandfathered them back to the original zoning and coding and water protocols, which is advantageous to them. Because we piped up on all, like Heritage Estates got some bonus on it.
Right.
Well, they need to be, you know, so that, so anyway, we have, I think, 5 subdivisions altogether that we've done this with, and we'll do our due diligence on behalf of the citizens, and also on behalf of the people that own that land.
Yeah, but like you said, when they get their final approval, they gotta pay more taxes on that property. So they could do, they like pay more taxes for 18 months, they better.
You got it. Certainly. Yeah.
I got a question for you, Nick, because, can I stop in your office, because the hills of Goshen, I know he said that thing was going 65 to 80 gallons a minute, now he's telling me. And also the right of way up there, they were supposed to put a dry pipe, of course, in case we discover one in there. I was just wondering if it goes up to, if I can stop in your office.
No, that dry pipe was put in there at the insistence of the Department of Health.
Yes, but there was also another pipe.
Became available.
They were going to go under there or go out to where they seriously put it in the catch basin, or whatever they call it. I wanted to, because I believe there's a pipe supposed to go all the way up there. If we discovered, the town discovered water that we could supplement. So, I'm just saying, if we can find it and the pipe is there and it's feasible, maybe it's time for us to put water up there. Something not here. Like it's something off the side, that goes.
Sure, that's no problem. Just, I wanted to put your attention to number 65 in the Heritage Estates. It's on page 23, because the other night, they were discussing with you the emergency access or the access to Brookside Drive. They were learning what we're supposed to have to do this right away, but we're not sure what we're supposed to do.
Right.
What they should have done is look at number 65, which says that they're supposed to come to you, and you're supposed to determine with them how wide you want that access to be made, and whether it's full width or whether it's just partial width for one lane for a fire truck only, and whether you want the gates there and everything else. There was a great bit of discussion on our part, or on the planning board's part really, as to whether or not you go full width. If you go, and Des may be able to help us out with this blacktop issue. But my understanding is if you don't drive over blacktop over a period of time, it ends up falling apart much quicker than if you use it on a regular basis. So the thought was if we insist on having them put in a full width road there, and it only gets used occasionally for fire trucks if even, that we're going to end up having a very deteriorated blacktop area that really won't function very much. So the question was whether or not, and on the other hand, if we were to decide to make it a through road, we didn't want the burden to be on the town taxpayers as opposed to that development. So it was sent to you, and they were supposed to come to you and ask you how you wanted them to do that, not that they're just supposed to give you the right of way and that was it. I think it was a little bit misrepresented the other, or misunderstood the other.
Thank you for the information. Okay. Anybody else got anything?
Right past my house on Arcadia Road, I used to be the house farm, right across from Summit Hill. On Arcadia, where I lived there, just continue on straight up. Summit Hill's on the left, and then you'll see the farm on the right, just before the Stamp subdivision, that little cul-de-sac there.
I haven't heard that term before.
Yeah, that's.
I haven't heard it either.
That's the name of it. That's the name of the project. That's why I said, I knew it had to be 3 or 4 years ago, because I sat the old wetland. And of course, the local farmer would not help. That is
I
what
think
some
where that goes to
Yeah.
the developer was using that well as an
They got an extra home on
enticement
it.
for approval. But I think it turned out to be not as much
Well, yeah, we got to,
as he was.
I was on record, get 65, 80, and then remember, they said on Chester assignment, they're going to develop a Chester assignment, and that one had enough for us to fly all the village or town and the council.
Yeah.
Misrepresent, that was the point I was leading to.
And he was building affordable homes,
Yep.
and they're a
And that's
little bit
it.
more than affordable.
And we're supposed to have the 100-foot buffer, and that's what,
Yes.
all the trees down, but
Yes.
always forgot to tell you about the catch basin.
You wouldn't even see those homes.
You wouldn't see it.
You'd have to-
You guys were around when they put the white plastic fence up there, that,
Yeah.
misrepresented by $12,000. That's what Steve, that's why.
That's why we have to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, I sat in the audience because that was under the prior administration when they gave them permission for those 8 homes for that well.
Yeah.
What do I know, sitting in the audience about what the capacity of that well was, the production of that well. If it's 10 gallons a minute, why did they get 10 extra homes for that? Another, so, these are the kind of things.
And I don't even know if they gave us the 200,000. I don't think they gave us the
I don't want to move on that right away.
No. We got a lot of
Look at that. We'd like to have had it.
And those developers are in college now too, from 5 to 8, so they're not coming around too much. They went to college.
Sure. Yeah.
Didn't he also grant to us a lot of property and the well?
Yep.
Well, but I remember what you remember, Kenny. They said that well was a big producer. I think it was under Honey's watch.
It was.
part of the agreement to get 8 additional homes. 200,000 for well and the open space.
Evidently, it was a mistake.
I'll call Tony tomorrow.
It's one of those poof
Yeah.
things.
Well, you know,
Representation.
it's one of those things you go out and do.